Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode. Today we're taking a look at some of my favorite TV shows and documentaries that have been on Netflix this year, some recommendations that some of you may have missed. And also we're going to be talking about a brand new site that you can access to reduce your subscription costs almost by 80% in some cases. That's not just for Netflix, but things like Spotify, Nintendo Switch Online. So we're going to be going through that and how they offer. Then we're going to be looking at my recommendations if you haven't watch some of these things, which you might have to binge for 2019. So the site's called Together Price, www.togetherprice.com. And when first loading up the page, you'll have the ability to sign up or log in if you have an account. So I personally do have an account, but I'll show you the sign up procedure. It's dead easy. They make it easy so you can just click the sign up button and you can sign up with your Google email, or you can sign up with Facebook. So you don't have to complete all your first name, last name, email address, and password. So let's say I sign in with my other account. So Goshinyhunting is the account I use on this. When you first log in, it'll ask you for your date of birth and for your country of residence. Once that's done, you will move into the first place. Now here is a list of the services which you can use. So not just Netflix and Spotify. You can see Amazon Music, Apple Music, Office 365. All of these are things that you may already be using and not sharing. So this really gives you a platform to use that. So I personally only use Netflix Premium and Spotify Family. So we'll pick those services, continue. And it shows you just how much you can save. So sharing the cost of your favorite service with others can save you up to 258 euros per year. In pounds, that's 218 pound, and that's 286 US dollars. So you can use this service one of two ways. The first one is becoming the admin. So this is where if you've got a Netflix account and you're not using it, here's where you would create a group for that. Now the site makes it really easy to set up a group, being that the pricing options are already figured out for you, as well as the spaces you'd get with Netflix Premium. Relationship type gives you some indication of what the terms of use are, that Netflix Premium can only be shared with people in the same household. Fill all the rest out, click the terms of service and publish. Confirm your email address and you'll be ready to start sharing that group. Now there's a great addition to this service in that it has a promotion currently on free forever. And now if you create a group and fill all the free spaces, keep the group full for 30 days, Together Price will give you your share for every month. So you won't be paying anything towards your service. The people who are sharing your service will be the ones paying for it. Together Price will pay your share. Now, the other way that you can use the service is by becoming a joiner. So let's say somebody has an already active group and has created it on Together Price. You'll be able to take up one of the free slots, and if it's Netflix Premium, pay £3 a month instead of having to pay that whole £11.99 a month for yourself. They have a promo going on currently. If you sign up, which you can use the link in the description below, if you use that, you can register for free, and on your first payment, you will get £2.13 off. So let's say I had free slots for my Netflix account. You would be able to join onto one of my slots, and instead of paying £3, you would be paying 87p for the first month. So go ahead and use the link in the description below to be able to get access to those services, so you're not paying the full subscription cost when actually you can be sharing it with roommates, friends, family. So we're going to be going through Netflix, and I'll be showing you some of my favorite TV series, documentaries on Netflix in the past year. And let me know, I'm going to go through my top 5. I'm going to try and figure them out retrospectively. It's been a while since I maybe saw some in January, and I don't know. There might be some that I picked from 2018, but I just may have thought it was 2019. But let me know in the comment section below as well what your top 5 Netflix series are, because it'd be interesting to see if any of them match up. So the first series is one of my favorite things that I've seen this year. This is probably my number 1. I know most people do a countdown from 5, but this just came up first and it was first in mind. When They See Us, so good. For me personally, I love things that are true stories. It just makes it feel a lot more real, and I think it films better because there's no made up story. These are real stories that happened, and when they're so far-fetched and just like, how did this happen, it makes it painfully better. Like it's awful to watch, but at the same time really intriguing how, you know, the times were very different back then and how mistakes like this made. And I say different, but people still get wrongfully accused, because I think police don't they have the best interests, but there's what's called confirmation bias, which is where you look for something and you find it. I think that still plays a part in society. But here's where that just happened, and also the pressure to be able to solve this case meant pinning it on someone rather than being left with this no understanding of actually who committed this crime, and it fell to these 5 boys. So if you have not seen this series, or if you have already, then good on you. Let me know, did you enjoy it as much? If you haven't seen it, this is a must watch for 2019. It's so binge worthy. It's not long. It's 4 parts. They are quite long parts, and part 4 is the biggest. But part 4 needed to be, for me, part 4 is the best, where they follow Corey. Amazing journey. Just amazing how he got through what he got through, from what actually started from him just being a good friend to be punished for being a good friend so severely. It was just insane how it happened. And I watched the Whitney show where she interviewed all 4 of the or 5 boys, and it was dark, just seeing how, even though things have changed for them, that what happened still affects them, obviously, because they've lived that life of. It's going to distort your view of the world, isn't it? You're going to think of the world as this dark place if it's treated you so badly. So if you have not seen this, go watch it. The other thing I watched quite recently, and I'm putting on, so you'll see that a lot of the things that I personally like are quite horrifying, because I think they paint a really good picture of what psychologically can, because I'm a psychologist, so I enjoy things that have emotions and a lot of it in it, and capture it, I think, really well. And that's why, second, I'm putting Unbelievable. This is a story of a girl who is raped, and how nobody believes her, or they do believe her, but then she goes into having to deny it and getting stuck in that denial, and then having people challenge that and hate her for it. It just shows that I think a lot of people can sometimes make this assumption of, if it really happened, why did this person lie about it? And I think you do see that even now, when people come out 20 years later and say somebody sexually abused them, and some people's response is, well, why are you bringing it up now? And it really paints that picture of why it happens now, why not at the time, because nobody wants to talk about having the worst experience of their life. One, being blown up in front of everybody in their lives, and they seeing that. But can you think how it might be for a parent knowing that that's happened to somebody that you love? That's going to hurt you, and therefore the person who's been raped knows that, and is going to be aware that, actually, I'm going to keep this to myself, either through try and deny it to be able to cope with it, to try and not, sit with all those negative emotions, but also to protect the people around them from what they're feeling. So I think this paints a really good picture. The girl who plays the actress in this is so good. She captures the suppressing of anger really, really well. And I think cinematically as well, the production on it is really good. I really love the 2 main police officers as well. They're just they're the heroic characters in this. Just shows how good they are as cops, and these are real people, that they were able to see things and treat people in a really compassionate way compared to where others had taken a different tact. So yeah, definitely in my top 5. Now, next up, God, a lot of the things I watch involve a lot of dark things. 13 Reasons Why. Season 3 of this came back strong. 2000 and I can't remember when was the first release. Whatever. When it was first released, the first season was brilliant, and it stayed true to the title of it, 13 Reasons Why. Right, and then I feel like they tried to carry on that title into the second series, and it felt a little bit forced. It wasn't as good. It was still good, but they really changed things up for the third season, and I feel like it was better than the second season and as good as the first season for me, bringing in a different side of things with, it focused a lot on the perpetrator as a victim. And that's quite a strange concept for people to stomach, for the people who have been the victim of the victim. Seeing that the people are offering compassion to this person or helping this person is difficult for them to stomach. And I think this is true of everyday life, is when somebody's done something bad, if that person's still, if the person who has suffered at the hands of them would never want to help the person. But here's the thing with people like Bryce in this series is that sometimes perpetrators, criminals, have been the victim before and are just either repeating what they've seen or have been broken as a result of that, in terms of, things you see growing up and beliefs that you develop through that. I think Bryce kind of was aware of his capabilities of causing harm and really made an effort to try and change that. And it's really hard, but if you think about it, if we don't help the people doing the bad things to stop them, help them to stop doing it, then they're actually going to be more likely to do it. If you actually maintain that aggression, punishment towards them, they're not going to want to change, because they're just going to be always met with hatred. But actually meeting them with something else like compassion meant that he could work at changing, and actually was able to change. Not perfectly, but wasn't as bad as he was before. And so that's why I think we do have services now that, we have specialized services for pedophiles, we have specialist services for rapists, for people who kill people, because sometimes they need help as well. And I'm not saying that takes away from the victim, that they also need just as much, if not more, help. But it doesn't mean that you can't help people who do bad things. It can help them to stop doing bad things. So, 13 Reasons Why is one of my other favorites from this year. Okay, I'm coming in with some comedy. We finally have some comedy in my life. Yes, this is the greatest show. It's just hilarious. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of my favorites, definitely up there in terms of comedy. Probably might actually be my favorite. I was so glad when we revived this through a good social effort, and brought the likes of Jake Peralta. And Captain Holt is my favorite character. Is Captain Holt. He's so hilarious, just so funny. If you have not watched this series, watch it from the start. It's nice to stomach because you can binge it with the short episodes that they have. There may be 22 episodes in season 5, but it's worth getting through, because it's not even hard to do it. It's just once you start, you can't stop, and all the characters are funny as well. Like there's nobody who is actually unfunny in this. Yeah, like I'm just looking at. Yeah, everyone's funny. So if you like the typical comedy that goes with Jake Peralta or Andy Samberg, you'll enjoy this. So that's number 4 of this season, of this year. And then we've got a final choice, which is a difficult one. Or is it? I'm not sure. I don't want to miss anything. I feel like Mindhunter is up there. It might have to be number 5. All right, so I'm struggling between Mindhunter and The Spy, which were both really good. What else have we got? US TV programs. Maybe even a TV series. I mean, I love a good TV documentary. I just watched Dream Killer, and that was really good. The Innocent Man is also really good. I feel like those type of series, though, they're all on the same par. Like they're all Netflix know how to do a good TV documentary. Team programs. My list. I don't think I've saved any of those things. It'd be good to see if you good to be able to go through everything that you've watched before. Oh, here it is, my watch list. It'd be really good if you could look through everything you've watched. These are the things that I've watched. The Devil Next Door, that is mad. Like, just amazing how that can happen. Line of Duty, I don't think this season was as good as the past, but Line of Duty is definitely something you should watch. You was really good. Evil Genius was great. I Am a Killer, I really enjoyed that. The Last Kingdom, I mean, personally, I love that. I think you got to be of a certain taste to have enjoyed that. Broken, I started watching the other day. The Disappearance of Madeleine McCann is really interesting. It's very similar in terms of like the media's reaction to not The Innocent Man. Was it The Innocent Man? No. What did I just watch? It's not got everything that I've watched up there. And Dream Killer, yeah. It's just like the Dream Killer in terms of the media's reaction to it. The Spy. Sex Education was funny. Dark season 2. It's alright, not as good as the first. Living with Yourself. That's got to be it. Yes. I think I'm going for that. Who Killed Little Gregory was really good as well. Let's just make sure we get everything. But yeah, no doubt. My 5th and final is Living with Yourself. This was so funny and also such a really cool concept. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't just comedy. There was also a bit of, it was like love drama. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought Paul Rudd was hilarious as always. I thought the woman who I've actually never seen in anything, but I've seen her on what's called Taskmaster, something you might only see in UK. I don't think they have that in America. But yeah, she's funny, and she was really good in this. Definitely watch that. That's my number 5. Really enjoyed the whole series, the relationship, the dance scene in the final episode. I think it's the final episode is on point. It's so good. Yes, if you want to just have like a little understanding of it, basically, a guy goes to this service that's meant to like create a healthier, better you, not depressed, everything good that you'd want to have motivation, energy levels, and best body health. So he goes to this service, and actually what they're doing is cloning you. They kill the you that is, depressed and defunct in some ways, and they usually would keep the good you and put that into the world, who considers himself to be the real him, you. But they didn't kill the guy off, and so there's 2 of him, the healthier version and the unhealthy version, and you can imagine it all gets out of hand very quickly, but it's really good. So definitely watch that. They are my top 5, I would say, definitely for 2019. I feel happy with those choices. As you saw in that list, there were some other ones that I would definitely rank up there. But they're my best. Let me know what your top 5 are. Are there any things that you could recommend for me? Because I'm always looking for a good TV series to binge through in usually 2 days. I'm currently watching V Wars, which I'm enjoying. I'm really liking. I like the guy who plays Damon in The Vampire Diaries. He's staying in theme with V Wars. He's staying in theme with what he's good at. Except he's not a vampire in this one. Yeah, really interesting so far. Only into episode 4, but got a fair few left, which I will binge this weekend. That's all for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you have, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content and information. That is all from me. See you guys soon.